morning, everyone. It's Lynette with Charm Grammy Crochet, and I'm in the dining room today. That's my living room behind us. But I'm here because I wanted the table space and the chair. We have actually a rolly chair, like a computer desk chair, at our dining room table, which normally has hard wood chairs. But ever since Roy had his first knee surgery, we found that having a rolly chair where you can spin and get out of around the table made it way easier with a bad knee to do that. And it's easy to get out of this chair. So it's easy to get under the table in it, and we have carpet so it doesn't roll. It's hard to move it, honestly, but you can spin and you can get up, and I thought this is the best place to make this video today. Because I can get out of the chair, I can sit comfortably in the chair, and I can drink my morning coffee with you. Excuse me. So I have a few projects that I'm working on, 3 specifically blankets. They are all Boggy Creek blankets. I'm getting kind of bored with blankets, to tell you the truth. And there's a couple other things I want to put on my hook. And then Laura and the Zoom, and Jan and the Zoom ladies are talking about starting one of those blankets from that Illusions book. I'm like, I don't know if I want to make one of those because I got these others, and if I finish the cat's meow, then I could do that one. But in the Tunisian blanket, but there's other blankets I want to make too, so you know how it is. You can only crochet so fast. So let's start with my Tunisian. Now, let me give you the update here. Lynanne from Nina's Knots is doing made a Tunisian blanket for Boggy Creek. You know, Boggy Creek is that charity that we're raising blankets for. Lynanne, Nancy, Billy, the Crafty Floridian, myself, and Juan, the Iron Addict. And this is the 3rd year that Nancy and I have been involved, and then others on the side. But Nancy, Billy, and I, and then Lynanne would be, and now Juan, and so many others are helping to raise awareness to make blankets for Boggy Creek, which is a really awesome camp. And I talk about it in all my videos, so I know you guys all know. If you're new to my channel and you don't know, I don't want to come watch us on Wednesdays. It's on one of the 4 of our channels. Every week we unbox blankets that have been sent in. But right now is a big push because we run the collection process from August through the end of January. So we try to go live every Wednesday and show the blankets that you guys have sent in and sending them to Juan and Nancy, all the information and videos and the blanket list from those that have created new blankets for us, all in my playlist, in my description box. You can click on all that stuff. And a swag shop. We have a swag shop this year. It was a long time coming. Lynanne finally was able to get it together for us. What I couldn't figure out last year, she got together for us this year, so I'm so excited about that. We worked on a logo, and we were limited in what we could do for that. So it's the best that we could get, and all the proceeds, this is the important part, all the proceeds go to Boggy Creek. We don't touch any of the money. We just mention it in our videos and let you buy Boggy Creek Blanket Brigade swag, which I haven't ordered yet. But we do have it, and it's available, and the proceeds go directly to Boggy Creek. We do not touch any of the money, so it's all in the up and up. And there's no obligation to buy, guys. Just that if you wanted to, you can. So Lynanne made a Tunisian blanket, and I have Tunisianed some washcloths in the past with Jada and Stitches. And when she was doing a sampler blanket, but I'm like, yeah, I've done those samplers, never doing a sampler again, because my tension never is the same. And you do a sampler blanket, and they gotta fit together at the end. Mine never do. So I just did washcloths, and I went through about half the year before I just ran out of time for doing them. got bored with it, whatever, I don't know. That was a couple of years ago. So I bought a set of Tunisian hooks when I was doing that, and I got the cheap ones off Amazon. You get long metal ones and then these bamboo corded ones. Not my favorite hook, I will tell you, but I don't do it enough to go to a big expense, so I'm not going to. And I started with Lynanne's blanket, and I was struggling just because I'm not that good. And I think I'm probably doing this backwards. And I just realized it. Oh, no. That's all right. I'm leaving it. If I'm doing the stitch and I didn't realize I was putting it together backwards, I'm sure that a kid isn't going to pick it out either. So in her tutorial, she starts with some purl stitches, and then she goes into like a lot of very nice, beautiful texture and switching stitches. I'm not that good. I want just one simple stitch. So I was just doing the purl stitch. And here it is, right at the very beginning. It's hard to see. I was doing the purl stitch. And she told me, she says, just do the simple stitch. It's way simpler. So I finished that row and I went to the simple stitch. And I'm going to show you the simple stitch. And I don't know if I'm thinking, I think this is the front of the simple stitch, but I just realized that this is this is the front of the purl stitch. But maybe not. Maybe this is the front of the simple stitch. I don't know. Lynanne, is this the front? On mine, this is the front. Because that's where the purl stitches are, right there. I count it and I look at it when I'm crocheting. I see these bars. So I think that's supposed to be the front, but I don't know why they're on the back. But it doesn't matter. This is how my blanket is going to look. I like this look. I like this look too. So it doesn't matter to me. It is what it is. That's how it's going. So I'm using this yarn and a 10mm hook with the cord on it. And this yarn is Big Twist Ombre Value, I think is what it's called. Big Twist Value, and the color is called Sunrise Ombre. Isn't it gorgeous? So pretty. And yeah, I can see a sunrise out of that. So I had 3 skeins. Lynanne's pattern calls for, and these are smaller skeins because, you know, when they ombre it, then they charge you more for less yarn, or the same amount for less yarn, so you're paying more per yard or whatever, but that's okay. It's 100% acrylic. I'm trying to find, it's 269 yards, where like the normal Big Twist value is like 345 or something to like that, or maybe 386 or something. So I know I'm going to need a 4th one, and I put all the yarn in my cart, and I did all the things, and then more yarn, and my local store said they didn't have it, and they would ship it to me, and so then I had to put enough for free shipping, and all of a sudden I need 1 skein of yarn, and I'm spending $75. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. And my original thought was that I would just add a yellow or an orange. You know, I just bought all that bright colors for Boggy Blankets. And then I think it was Shirley that said the yellows don't match. And the orange doesn't match, like the varsity orange or, well, the bright orange looked pretty good. I'm going to tell you, Shirley, it did look pretty good. It matched, because these colors ombre, that bright orange matched in my yarn room, it looked like anyway. This is got a little bit of a marl in here, but the orange color itself, when you just laid it along here, really matched well. And I thought, oh, I'll use that. But and the yellow didn't. You're right, the yellow wasn't as good, but it wasn't terrible. And I thought, oh, I'll just send my daughter up to, because she also said that they do have it, even though the website says they don't have it. Okay, I can just go get 1 skein. Or have Amanda do it, because if I went, I would buy more than 1 skein, and she would just buy the 1 skein. But then I did some more shopping in my yarn room, and let me tell you, well, I'll tell you that in a minute. I did some more shopping in my yarn room, and I found this color. Now, is the yarn exactly the same? No, this has a teeny bit of a shine to it. But if you look at this bright yellow in here, oh, excuse me, in here, they are the same color. This has the marl in it. This does not, but that's okay. I'm all right with it not being the same exactly. But when you hold up the blanket, you really can't tell. Right? Yeah, I don't think you can tell. And don't critique all my stitches. They're not all perfect. But I'm doing the best I can, and it is going to a kid. I don't think they're not going to be judging as much as an adult would. So, and as I get faster, my blanket is getting skinnier. So there is that. as I get more comfortable, this is the problem with my tension. When I'm more comfortable, when I know what I'm doing, when I crochet faster, as I'm feeling better and I can sit up better and all of that, I crochet faster and my tension gets tighter. Even though I'm trying to be really loose with it. But this yarn is softer. And it's curling more, but that's okay because I'm going to add more of the ombre. So what I did is I counted. Oh, and what is this yarn, you're asking? This is, oh, my bag's falling off. I have it sitting on a chair over here. This is Dreamweaver yarn that I used to, like, I think would sell these for $1.29 to $2.69 for 2 skeins of yarn at this local store. And I really miss it. I wish they would bring them back. I think this is Red Heart with Love. I think, if I had to guess. But they took their mill-ends or their extras or whatever, and they relabeled them, and they told you what the yarn is. And these are 4.5 ounce skeins, and you got 2 of them for whatever the price was. At different times, I think it started at $1.29, and then it went up, and then some of the skeins got bigger, and some of the skeins got smaller, and the price would fluctuate based on how much yardage, actually, and even some of the types of yarn. But I think the most I paid was $1.69 for 2 skeins like that. I have 2 more skeins of this same yarn that are 6 ounce skeins packaged together. And those might have been like $1.69, where these were maybe $1.29. Anyway, the big balls, like the black one that I'm using in my, and I'll show you that later, in my Luck of the Draw blanket, that one I paid, I think, $1.99 for the big, like 1 pound size, you know. So anyway, I have about 30 rows of the ombre yarn. Let me show it to you this way because this is where the kind of built-in border is. I'm probably going to have to border the outside of it. Anyway, I don't think it's long enough anymore. But I'm probably going to have to border... No, wait. That's the side I just showed you. Yep, this is the right way. Okay, and I can use this yellow if I want to, or I can use the bright orange, which kind of matches the paler orange in the ombre. But anyway, I have about 30 yards, or 30 rows of the ombre color. And then I thought now I have 10 rows of the bright yellow, of the solid yellow. So then I thought, well, I'm not sure if I should go more of the solid yellow. I don't want it to be overwhelmingly sized big stripes. I just want it to have like that little, break it up and then let me fill in, you know. So I'm thinking then I could go 30 more yards. So this should be like 1/3 of the blanket. Oh, maybe I should measure it and see how long it is. Because if this is 10 rows and then make that 1/3 of the blanket, because I have 2 more to go. But these then would need to be bigger because there's only going to be 2 sections of this so that it starts and ends in the ombre. So yeah, maybe I need to go 15 rows of this. I don't want them to be as big as the ombre section. That's the key that I'm thinking about. So what do you think? 5 more rows? I'm thinking maybe. I have plenty of the yellow yarn, so that I'm not worried about. I do have a tape measure. It's in the other bag. It's all bagged up and boxed in there. I think I'm going to go 5 more rows. 5 more rows. What do you think? Then it'll be half the size of the ombre. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do. 5 more rows of the yellow. So yesterday I put probably 2 rows of ombre to finish off the skein. So I finished 1 skein of ombre. And then I put 10 rows of the yellow. So that was that blanket. And then when I was reading the comments, one of my friends said, Lynette, you had the wrong color number for your luck of the draw. I'm like, how did I do that? I think I don't know. But anyway, my luck of the draw is living in this really cool bag. It says, enjoy the little things. I totally love it. And this was gifted to me, and I apologize, but I don't remember by who, but I use it all the time. So this is the big ball. Black is my main color in my luck of the draw. And this is the big ball I was talking about that I paid like $1.99 for. At the end, I think they were selling them for like $1.29. So the first week, now luck of the draw is being hosted by Trish, Mama Swift. She will be linked in the description box below. Lynanne will be linked as well. Lynanne's always linked because of Boggy Creek. But Trisha's hosting Luck of the Draw 3 at 9, and it's a 10-week Luck of the Draw. Nan from Nan's Next Knots allowed her to do Luck of the Draw 9 Boggy Creek edition this year. And the first week, I'm using 4 colors. You're supposed to use 1 main color and then 8 other colors. And she draws a number. Your other colors are coordinated to a number 1 through 8. I'm only using 4 colors because I want the colors to repeat more often than probably once or a couple of them twice, because it's such a, a shortened week, a shortened luck of the draw. It's not 20 weeks long, which is what they normally were. But Boggy Creek blankets aren't that big. They're 35 to 40 wide, 40 to 50 long, or if you're making a circle or a square, 40 would be the number to reach. So I'm doing mine as a rectangle, and this is Trisha's Cabin Fever something blanket. Juan the Yarn Addict did the tutorial. It is in my description box in the playlist for Boggy Blanket tutorials. Now the first week, she drew either 3 or 8. And my bright yellow is those 2 numbers. Well, then the next week, I thought she drew the other number. I was wrong. That was not the number. She said something about the number 3 in there, or maybe that was the first week's color, and I just thought it was number 8 and remembered number 3. But anyway, I thought it was the same number, my same yarn 2 weeks in a row. I don't want to put 2 weeks in a row of the same color, so I was going to wait and not add on to my blanket until next week, now this week, when she draws on Thursday, and I would just switch the 2 yarns so that I don't have back-to-back colors. Because what she does do is if she draws number 8 this week, that one does not go back in next week's drawing so that you don't have back-to-back colors. So I was going to kind of color control, even though it's luck of the draw and you're not supposed to do that, but you kind of do it anyway. So one of my friends said, Lynette, in the comments, that wasn't the number, look again. So my new color, the number actually coordinated with this yarn, and I don't remember the number, and don't trust me on the numbers because obviously I'm not trustworthy as far as that goes, and I didn't really want to say the number anyway, but it showed up when I pulled out my yarn, so now I'm going to be really careful not to do that. Oh, this color is called Safety Yellow. This color is the new green gecko color that they came out with. Oh, Lovely, right? So when you put it together with the black, isn't this fabulous? Look at this. It's so cool. I totally love it. And it goes really fast. I decided to do a rectangular blanket versus the square, because I think it works up, it works up faster. You're only going this far. As the beginning of a square blanket or a circle, you've got this little tiny, and it grows, and you're done in 15 minutes the first week, and then by the time it gets to the like 35, 40-inch mark, you're spending a lot more time. This, I know I'm spending the same amount of time every single week, since we're doing 10 weeks, and Trish told me that she made hers 70 stripes long. I haven't measured to know how far this will go, but I'm doing 7 rows each week. So I have 2 of the black and then 5 of the color, and then 2 of the black and 5 of the color. And if I get to the length before I run out of, if we're on week 9 and I get to the 50 inches, then I'm just going to stop. And I won't do week 10. If I get to week 10 and I'm only at 30 inches, then I'll just draw a couple numbers myself, to get it to the length that it needs to be. So I'm loving it so far. My other 2 colors, just so you can see them, are, this is, I think, Varsity Orange, is it? Oh, come on. Yeah, Varsity Orange. And then I have, that's also Big Twist. And then I have this Beyond Pink that is a Craft Smart. I think that's Michael's brand, isn't it? It might be Michael's or Walmart. I don't remember. But I think Craft Smart used to be Walmart or Michael's brand, right? It doesn't matter. That's the pink I have, and that's the pink I'm using. And when they call that number, or numbers, one of those 2. So I did get it caught up. I did get it corrected, and I'm totally loving it. I think the kids at Boggy Creek will love that. And then finally, I should do this in a second video, but I'm not going to. I'm on a roll, so we're just going to go with it. This still is kind of packed from camping. I'm keeping my cat's meow in this basket, and I tend to throw things in there with it when I'm transporting. So the cat's meow is, if you don't know, it looks like this. And this is a pattern. It's a paid pattern from Annie's, but the design is by Christine Nuggle. And it's the cat's meow, and there's her name, and it's Annie's. You can get it on Etsy too, I believe. And it comes as a graftan, and that looks like that. Very confusing to do. Or if you get the full pattern, you actually get written pattern. So when I showed it or talked about it last time, I was starting row 35. Now I am starting row 41. So I did 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So I did 6 rows. And I've added the tail. And the reason I'm like going to go into a little bit of detail here. Now, mind you, I have all kinds of yarn attached to this. So one of my subscribers said they were doing it and carrying the yarn. Let's see, this is the bottom. This is the top. I'm going to make it all a big, huge mess, but we'll show you. And, that's the way to do it. Probably you'll use way more yarn, but maybe way easier, I don't know. But this is what it's looking like now. So I've divided off for the tail, just a little bit there. And this is what it looks like. And if you look at the yarn side of it, this is what it looks like. Yep, there is yarn attached, strings everywhere, all attached. I am using, and we'll get into all of this. So I am using this yarn, and I put them in baggies because they started to fall apart. But this is ice cream, a Lion Brand ice cream, and the gray is in another baggie. This is Pound of Love. Ice cream is a 3-weight yarn, and the Pound of Love is a thin 4, and they're working together fine. The gray is a little stiffer, but it's a stiffer yarn anyway. So, and they're living in this box. And what I had done, this Pound of Love is a big, huge skein, and the ice cream, I had 6 skeins, like big, huge ones like this, the bundles they call them, and they put them on clearance, and I bought 6 of 2 different colorways that they had, and I thought this one would be a fun color to use. So I'm keeping them in this bag, and then I was moving them around inside the box as you use, and you need to, free up your space or whatever so that your yarn isn't getting too tangled. And so I would just move them around. Well, they started falling apart. I had taken the big balls. Well, Roy actually did it for me. And we put it on the ball winder, and he just wound those suckers until they didn't fit on the ball winder anymore. And then we cut the yarn because you're going to use little amounts at a time. Well, as I'm moving around the cakes that he caked up like this, they're falling apart. So then at the camper this past weekend, I'm getting a big, huge mess, and I'm afraid it's going to knot and everything. So I decided to put them in baggies and just not seal it all the way and let the yarn pull through. That's working. Just using 2 skeins, the multicolored and the solid color, and holding your yarn together, which means every time you change color, you're just dragging that other one under your stitches. You could do that. You would use twice as much yarn pretty much, and you'd have a much thicker, warmer blanket. Not a bad thing, but you could do it that way. But I don't think that's the original intention, but would be an easy way to do it if you're trying to make this blanket and you've never done a grafgam before and you never worked with bobbins, which is what they call it when you have all these little skeins. And you could do little tiny balls. You could do the big things like I did, and now I'm throwing them in plastic bags. A lot of people will do something like buy clips similar to this, and I've tried this before, and then you take your end and you clip it in here, or you hold it down or whatever, and you wrap around this. And you just do little amounts at a time, so that it's not too bulky and heavy. And then when you're done using and you're switching color, you clip your end in here, so it doesn't unravel, and you clip it to the side of your blanket. So your yarn end, you have one end that's coming off, and you clip that end, and you clip it to the bottom of your blanket so it's out of the way, and you can continue to work. I know a lot of people do it that way, and I have tried grafgams using these before, and it once you get used to it, it would be fine. For me, it was cumbersome, but this is also cumbersome. When you do a grafgam and it's cumbersome. That's just how it is to me. But the more colors that you use, the more of these you would need. And if this was more colors, more detail oriented, this would definitely be the way to go. Just you're gonna have to continuously pull yarn off your skein and make little balls to go with you, because every time you change color, what you do. So when I start this, here we go. I'm starting with the gray, and I'm going to crochet gray until I get to here, and then when this gray ends up here, I'm just going to drop it at the front, because when I turn it around it'll be at the back then. So I'm going to drop this yarn, and I'm going to pick up the next color that's here, and then I'm going to use this color till I get to here, and then I'm going to drop this one in the front, and I'm going to pick up the one that I left here. When I no longer need this color, then that means like this color is going all the way across, then I will cut this yarn and be done with this, like when I'm done making the tail, and eventually this color is going to go all the way back to the cat again. Then you drop these others, and so you just crochet over and drop the ones that you're not using and cut them off and tie them in and do, like you would normally do, and make this one go all the way across. And eventually, so you'll drop this one, and this gray will come all the way back to the body of the cat again. And then you're down to one gray and one multicolored, and one gray and one multicolored, because you're going to start, and eventually I think two at the end of the cat. Let me get the picture back out again. So at the very end, like up here, you'll just have like your solid color and then your multicolor, and it'll only have two balls attached. But when you get to the middle, you drop it, you go to the other one, you come back, you drop it, and pick up the other color and go back. So that's how you work that. Somebody was questioning how you do it, and I am not using these, and I knew I had these, and I knew I could use these, but because I was taking such big skeins and breaking them up, I thought I would just do what the ball winder holds, and I didn't think they would start falling apart as easily as they did keeping them in the basket. I thought they would stay together better. Would I have been better off to just keep them in the big ball and make up my little bobbins as I go along? Who knows? Who knows? But I'm not unhappy with doing it this way either. So that's my progress on these. I am going to start row 41 today. My luck of the draw is good for a couple more days till Thursday. That comes out every Thursday morning. We're only at, this will be week 3. So if you want to do the blanket or a snake, or one year I did totes. I did 2 during the 20 weeks, so 10 weeks is a perfect time to do a cotton tote. Totally love that. I've made ponchos, ruanas, actually, on Luck of the Draw. And you can make whatever you want. And it's fun. There's a Facebook group. There is a chat group where you put pictures of what you're doing, and you harass Trish to hurry up and put that number out. And we have a good time with it. So if you want to join in, there's still time for that. It doesn't have to be a Boggy Blanket. That would be a really nice gesture if you wanted to make one. We would appreciate all of them. So that's a quick project, and I don't have to do that for a couple of days. I want to get the Tunisian done as quickly as possible, and it's a pretty quick make now that I am more experienced at the stitch. So these two are going to be my main concentration. The challenge on the Cat's Meow was to have it done by September 15th or 16th. I do have to do hooker versus hooker this month. I've been doing it every month, but I haven't even looked at anything yet. It's only, the second or third of the month, but I have to have that done by the end of the month. And then they want to start an illusions blanket, and I'm like, and Jan, an Alaskan crafter, made a boho purse. Pretty much it's a purse. I totally love it, and I know what yarn I want to use, and I just am dying to get that on my hook. But I have to do hooker versus hooker first, and I don't know that I can start another blanket and get everything done this month that I need to get done. There's no expiration date on the Tunisian. other than the end of January, in time to take it to Boggy Creek. But I want to make a couple of other blankets that are I want to make Jaxie's blanket. I want to make, and that's in the playlist. I want to make Juan's new blanket because it's really fun. And I definitely want to make one or two of Angela, Jaxie's Creations by Jax, Juan the Yarn Addict, and Angela from My Precious Yarnery have made blankets that I want to make as well. And I want to make that bag. And Christmas is coming. I don't know that I'm going to Christmas crochet for anybody that I know, though, because, and you know what? I never finished the PP gnomes for my friends. And we have till mid-October. I've only made 2. And I need to make like 6. So, I got to get working on that. And I have to find a scarecrow pattern. Yeah, so there we go. There's all of the things that I need to do. I'm not overwhelmed. I'm not. I just might not start that illusion blanket. They're talking to have it done by the end of the year. But if they're going to start it, I want to kind of start it with them. But just because Laura got done with her blanket doesn't mean the whole rest of the world is done. Her and Bree are done, and Lynanne and Lynn are done. The rest of us need more time, ladies. That's all I can say about that. So that being said, I'm going to get this video up because it's already going to be 40 minutes by the time I get it edited. And I want to get it rocking and rolling for you. I got to plug my phone in already. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. I already got to plug in my phone. I didn't have it charging all night, so there's that. But I want to get this up and going. And I got 80 rows to go on this luck of this stupid cat. And, I'm getting better at moving around. So now I need to start doing things around the house to help Roy out. The poor guy's getting exhausted. And I don't blame him. He's doing all the work. And now I got to send him to the store because I have no coffee creamer. I left it at the camper. I had to use milk in my coffee. And I'm lactose intolerant. So, I can drink a little milk. So it's not like I'm just whining. I don't like using milk in my coffee. It doesn't have as good a flavor as my caramel macchiato or the peppermint mocha, which is just chocolate creamer. Oh, chocolate peppermint creamer, love it. And the caramel creamer, love it. French vanilla, yummy. Milk, ugh. But it's better than nothing because I can't drink it black. Ugh. I'll just drink water if that's the case. So anyway, that's enough of that. Roy will stop at the store and buy me coffee creamer. He's such a sweetheart. And I will see you guys in a video, probably not tomorrow because I don't think I have enough to talk about now that I gabbed all this up. Nothing else to say. Nothing else to show. Unless I make some really huge progress, which, cross your fingers, that would be awesome if I, finish the cat's meow today. Yeah, right, that'll never happen. But that's all I have for you today. Thanks for liking, watching, sharing, all the things, making the comments. I do read them. Sometimes it takes me a couple of days. And that's it. That's what I have for you today. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.